Well, all right now, what's happening? What's happening, YouTube people? I came across the story today. Well, really, I didn't come across it. The story came across me, and it aggravated me a lot. We got a missing lady out of Denton. A silver alert was issued for 76-year-old taken from a dental assisted living facility. Her name is Karen May Taub. She's 76 and she was pulled from her assisted living facility by someone who wasn't her legal guardian. Investigators are now asking the public to be on the lookout for a 2018 Ford F-150 with a Michigan license plate DXZ9489. And this was posted on Friday, May 16th, 2025, just in case, you watch this at a later date. But yeah, silver alert, missing. 76-year-old woman in Texas. So somebody can go up in the assisted living facility and just take somebody out. So that's what we're doing. Is that what we do in Texas? Look at her, y'all. For real. I have been through too many websites, especially Dallas County, about missing elderly. I'm talking about the missing elderly like all throughout Texas. You know, like Anna Marie Windsor King. She been missing since February 22nd. She 82 years old, but she ain't got no history of dementia. So an alert wasn't sent out for her because she don't have no history of dementia. Just because she don't have no history of dementia, that don't mean she ain't going through it right now. She got to be going through it right now if she missing and people are looking for her. And that's another thing too. How can you? I mean, seriously, how can you misplace a whole old person? I mean, how can you do it? Now, through my experiences and through my time in this lifetime, I have had not one, not two, but three missing elderly people with dementia run up on me. And I thank God that they ran up on me because anybody else would have not treated them right. I even stayed there, took her out of an assisted living facility. I don't know who that bold. It's got to be somebody that know her. I mean, not her power of attorney, but still somebody that know her to go in there and just take somebody's whole grandmother like that. Take somebody's whole nana and just walk off with her. I mean, and got in her car. Well, let me take that lie back. It wasn't her car. I guess it was the person truck that, abducted her. And that's a hard pill to swallow to know that your nana is out there somewhere and you don't know where she is. That's something else right there. And you would expect that the assisted living facility would monitor them more closely than that and keep a watch over them, especially for the ones with dementia. You would think that she would be on a locked unit or she would have a one-on-one aide or tech with her, somebody. Because if you know somebody's mental status, you would have to treat them accordingly in a assisted living facility. And that's just sad all around the board. Strong prayers going to the families of the missing lady, and hopefully y'all find her. And who's ever watching this podcast, if y'all seen a news story on it, just keep a lookout for her, that truck, anything that look like her in that truck, because like I said, somebody's missing, and that's sad. Now, back to my little newscast right now about the missing elderly. I mean, they missing everywhere in Chicago, 77-year-old Joe Turner. In Houston, Texas, 82-year-old Freddie Myers. In Irving, Texas, 93-year-old Christine Baldicki. I want to say, if I'm pronouncing it right. And in Lola, 76-year-old Lily Barfield. You know what I mean? And shout out to Redmond Police. Redmond Police, I think that's in, what is that, Washington, if I'm not mistaken. There was an elderly man that went missing. Family noticed he was missing like within the hour when they couldn't find him around the house. So they called the police, and police, they put in an alert. And the police sent up a drone around the area, the circumference of his home around like a 2 or 3 block radius. They sent up a drone and they found him. They found him sitting in a wooded area, like alone. Didn't know who he was, didn't know where he was, just sitting in a wooden area. So, yeah, shout out to the Redmond police for that, because I think that was pretty cool. Y'all got stuff like that up there. We need stuff like that down here. Find some of our missing folks, because they're missing all over Texas. Now, the percentage of the missing being found, yeah, 76% of the adults go missing. They found within 24 hours. 86% of the elderly that go missing are found within a few days. 3% of the elderly that go missing is a week or longer, and 1% is longer than a month. Now, that's just a long time. I mean, it really is for anybody to be missing, for you not to know where your auntie or your uncle or your mama or your daddy is, or even a special needs child, an adolescent or whatever. You just got to keep your mind, keep your eye and your mind on the disabled and the elderly, because if you're a caregiver, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, you know, especially if you're in a hospital or a nursing home. But yeah, we just have to keep a watchful eye for our elderly as well as our adolescent. And from 2017 to 2022, 548 silver alerts was issued in Texas. 524 alert of those were people with dementia. So you already know the other 24 that they sent the alert out from was probably slipping into dementia and nobody knew it. They just missing. So in of the median age though for the people to go missing, it's always 77. You can bet when you hear about somebody missing, it's always around 77, 79. It's always around that. And with that being said, 144 were women and 380 were men. I'm talking about this is out of the 524 that they knew that had dementia. 144 was women and 380 was men. That's something else. I know these people belong to somebody. So somebody got to be taking care of them. Somebody got to be watching them at home, not to have them just wandering off like that, walking off like that. It's wow, that's disheartening to hear. And I know it's more disheartening for the family to go through because some don't even notice that they family members or whatever have dementia or mental problems. They don't know because they're so used to seeing them being at their vibrant, at their best. But they not understanding that they have to come down too. The mind regresses with age. It does. And you already know they had to put in the race and ethnicity portion of it. And I want to give you them numbers too. Out of the elderly that was missing in Texas, 14 were Asian, which was 2.7% of the missing elderly. 101 were black, which is 19% of the missing elderly in Texas. Unknown races was like 49, so that's like 9.4, percent of the overall missing elderly in Texas. Whites, 358, 68.2%. I mean, they got Asians, blacks, and the unknown almost beat up in stats. You can combine those three ethnicities and it still don't equal up to the white population, the white people that's missing loved ones in Texas. And this is just in Texas alone. I saw a story where it say top 5 states for missing elderly. You mean to tell me we got a top 5 states in the United States? We got a top 5. We got a list for the missing in the United States. That's that's just wild. I mean, that's just something that's wild. Now, with these people that was missing in Texas from 2017 to 2022, I will get the stats on who were found, how many were found, and you know, so forth and so on. But 194 of these missing elderly people with dementia didn't have cars. So that means they walked off. Walked. You're not listening. Walked. So either I can't call the situation, but either they was living alone or they was living alone. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is living alone. It is. And 330 of them had cars. 330 people with dementia that's missing right now had cars, access to their cars, still have access to their cars. And I got a story about that too, but they still had access to their cars. And the median hours, the average hours that the elderly go missing is from 11 p to 7 in the morning, which means the majority of the people that's going missing have sundowners. Sundowners is a condition that's associated with dementia and Alzheimer's. That means the anything that they do, they used to doing during the day, they up doing it all night long. And you got to have constant eyes on people like that because you never know what they're gonna do. I mean, you can redirect them and actually try to stop them from doing what they're doing or whatever, but in their mind, it's totally right what they're doing. So unless you get it together in your mind that they right, then you're gonna be frustrated, really. And with that being said, for all of the people that actually have people that's missing, now, sorry about that. Now, in Texas, we got 8 alerts, for real, 8. The Amber Alert, the Silver Alert, the Blue Alert, the EMPA Alert, Clear Alert, Power Outage Alert, Active Shooter Alert, and the Camo Alert. Well, the Camo Alert was discontinued, but that was an alert for missing current or former military with mental disabilities, PTSD and brain injuries and stuff like that. They discontinued that alert. I don't know why, but the Alzheimer's Association of Texas, they got a lot of good resources to help people that have elderly people at home. You know what I mean? That have, if they can't do it or they too busy, go and tell the truth. If they don't feel like it or they don't know how, then it'll be cool for them to call, the Alzheimer's, organization, and they can get them the right resources to get in-home care, or maybe even, put that person, somewhere, assisted living facility, nursing home, whatever it takes, to keep them safe. Because as of right now, Texas, look at her, y'all, for real. We a big old disappointment. We got so many missing elderly, and it ain't just, the elderly, them within themselves, man. It's the history. Because each and one of these elderly people belong to somebody. They do. They belong to somebody. And you can't dispute the fact that they come from somewhere, to end up nowhere in their old age, mentally lost. That's not cool to be mentally lost. And you ain't got nobody to guide you through it or help you. That's scary within itself because basically they back to being babies. So with that being said, people all around the world, I don't care who it is, you know, well, watch out for our elderly, man. Keep an eye on our elderly. You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones in your own family that be so-called tripping. That'll walk off or whatever, or just headstrong in their ways. I don't care. Do what it takes to stay close. You know what I mean? Because it'll be worth it in the end. And your family member won't be one of these statistics that I just got through reading off, in the state of Texas. So keep a vigilant watch over your elders in your family. You can keep a watch over elders in other people's family. That's what I do because I'm nosy. I'm real nosy. Especially when it comes to that. I'm very much so nosy. Yes, ma'am. And I don't care who knew it. But with that being said, YouTube people, Spotify people, wherever this podcast is going to, y'all take it easy, man. and love one another continuously.